So the terminology of mesencephalon is used for the midbrain. Now, the midbrain, the pons, and the medulla oblongata were collectively termed as the brainstem. So if we've already gone through this particular terminology, that would be we would be using again and again when we are explaining the neuroanatomy. You can see just from the lateral view and from even the posterior view out here that there is a certain exact location of the midbrain out there, and there is obviously it is a conduit and it is basically collecting the messages from the pons, and there can be the ascending as well as the descending tracts that are being located out there in the brainstem. So its functionality is very important, and we'll be going through the cross sections just to review what are the different structures that are present out there at the level of the midbrain. So this is the exact location of the midbrain, and inferiorly we have the pons that is located, posteriorly we have the cerebellum that is providing a covering, and then we have the corpus callosum which is present. Superiorly we have the thalamus, the hypothalamus, and is basically lying in close relation to all of these organs. The relay stations are basically in close proximity to the midbrain. This is a cross section. This is the, obviously it is going to occur, the cross section can be taken at different levels. But just for theoretical purposes, we'd be overviewing that the posterior portion is basically the tectum, and then we have the anterior portion, which is the tegmentum. There are important structures lying at the tectum, and the tectum, as you can see, there are certain elevations out there which are basically referring to the colliculi that are present at this level. And then we have the ventral tegmentum, which is basically the most median portion of the midbrain that is present. So this is a generalized cross section that we'd be looking at, and then there are obviously different structures that are present, and for the theoretical purposes these are the terminologies: the tectum, tegmentum, and the ventral tegmentum. For the purpose of localization of different structures, we'd be using these terminologies again and again. So discussing the midbrain in detail, we'd be going through obviously the different cut sections at different levels and the different important structures that are present at different levels. We'd be going through the details as well. First of all, we have the red nucleus that is present at this level. This is a very important distinctive structure that is present at the level of the midbrain. So it is the coordination, and it is again the integration that is very important at the level of the red nucleus. Then we have the different nuclei. For instance, we have the medial geniculate nucleus that is very characteristic. Then we have the mesencephalic nucleus of the trigeminal nerve. So as we have mentioned, the cranial nerves, they come directly out of the brain, and the nuclei are residing at different levels and in different structures. They can be present at the brainstem, and even in the brainstem, they can be present at the level of the midbrain, pons, or the medulla oblongata, respectively. So we can have the Edinger-Westphal nucleus. It's again another coordination center that is present, and then we have the oculomotor nerve nucleus. It's basically the nerve nucleus for the third cranial nerve that is present at this level. So these different exit points that you have to remember, and obviously if there is any sort of an infection, pathology, tumorous conditions, or trauma that is exhibiting at this particular level, it is going to encompass all of these nuclei and all of these important structures that are present at this level. So knowing or having the basic knowledge, core knowledge regarding these different structures present and the different cross sections you have to overview when we'd be going through the details of the neuroanatomy would be again and again emphasizing on the cross sections, because that is going to highlight what important structures are present at different levels. So it's again very important to go through this complete core knowledge of the midbrain, or even the other different structures that are present at different levels.